Capital News tonight. Members of Parliament question government's growing debt in social security funds. Two people are killed in a mob justice attack in FISHERIES Ward, NYAMAGANA District, MWANZA region. And in sports, Tanzania Swimming Association starts preparations for the National Junior Championship. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. A heated debate broke out in Parliament Dodoma when members of Parliament were winding up contributions to the budget of the Prime Minister's office for the 2021-2022 financial year, when they questioned justification of the government's growing debt in social security funds, while others wanted clarification on the current confusion on the status of Bagamoyo Port.
Anasema deni hilo halijajumuisha jumla ya shilingi za Kitanzania.
He said the debt did not include 7.1 trillion shillings, which PSPF owes the government since 1999. Although PSPF have paid pensioners who were not contributing through the fund, but PSPF paid the pensioners according to the laws. This is according to CAG's report.
1 trillion hamjai kulilipa.
Sasa Mheshimiwa Halima ndio nakwambia essence ya kufanya merging ilikuwa ni sustainability ya sector.
Honorable Halima, essence of merging was for sustainability of the sector. Allow us to do actual evaluation. Honorable Speaker, evaluation exercise has been done at PSPF so that as the government we shall find ways on how to deal with the debt.
Bandari ya Bagamoyo tunaambiwa kwamba itakuwa bandari kubwa kuliko zote Afrika. Sawa na vema.
We are told that Bagamoyo Port will be the largest port in Africa. Big ships will dock there. All this will influence good collection of revenues with over 3,000 factories that will be constructed. But the question is, what will the government get from the port? Who will erase the late President Magufuli's stand that the port is full of conflicts?
Meanwhile, winding up his office budget debate, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa assured Tanzanians that the government will continue to develop Dodoma City by putting in place systems which will ensure it is built according to urban development plans.
Hatua hizo ni pamoja na moja, kuandaa muundo wa wizara yenyewe ambao utaainisha majukumu na mgawanyo wa idara na taasisi zitakazokuwa chini ya eneo hilo la uwekezaji.
We have to prepare the structure for the ministry itself, which will specify the responsibilities and the division of departments that will be under the investment area. But through a review of investment policy in 1996 and an investment law of 1997, in order to review the areas in need of improvements for which the 1996 National Investment Policy review has already been completed. We are developing a National Investment Development Strategy to oversee the coordination, mobilization and monitoring of investment issues in all sectors in the country.
Katika sekta zote hapa nchini.
And President Samia Suluhu Hassan has met and held talks with Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango and the Governor of the Central Bank, Professor Florence Luoga, at State House in Dodoma this evening. Two people alleged to have stolen 5 chickens from the house of a resident in Bukaga Street, Kishiri Ward, NYAMAGANA District, MWANZA region, were killed in a mob justice attack. This is the second mob justice incident to have occurred in the ward in 2 weeks. The District Commissioner of NYAMAGANA has given the police force 12 hours to arrest those implicated in the incident.
As I was heading to work, I found an incident. 2 young men stole chickens in this area and they were burned to death. Their bodies have been taken and this issue is in the hands of the police. I urge my fellow youth to work hard. It is sad to see such an incident.
Lakini kwenye swala la uhalifu wa kuibiwa watu wamekuwa wakiibiwa ni matukio kama 27.
Theft cases are about 27. These actions have been repeatedly happening. Any citizen coming to live in my neighborhood should bring a letter from the place where she or he lived. But also, when citizens see signs of breach of peace, they should report it.
Nobody is allowed to take laws into their own hands. I came to this ward last week and reminded you that mob justice is illegal. I urge you to abide to national laws. As your leaders, we are not accepting such practices. Criminals must be taken to the police force to handle the matter according to the laws.
Kuhusiana na tukio hili, naomba wananchi waache kujichukulia sheria mkononi.
Regarding the incident, I call upon residents to stop taking laws into their own hands because it is illegal. Whenever a criminal is arrested, he or she must be taken to the police station and not otherwise.
Tanzania People's Defense Force TPDF has said that due to global challenges in military technology, they are improving the training syllabus for new officers. This is to keep up with modern times as well as to build capacity for officers in the force.
Tunazingatia hasa kwamba katika mafunzo yao basi vitendo vingi vio vya uhalisia kwa sababu ndio wategemea kuwa maofisa.
We are trying to make sure that most of the trainings done are not far from reality because they are prepared to be in charge at all occasions. Although right now there are changes in technology, but they are incorporated in our trainings alongside discipline and ethics. Both men and women are practicing fully in order to build their confidences so that they will be able to use different weapons once they are on duty. Stories I heard before arriving at the camps, I was very afraid. But so far I have learned how to be confident and elevated self-drive spirit. Right now I am not afraid of anything.
And 4 people in Kagera region, among them 3 students and a driver of a vehicle with registration number T780DNS transporting millet for the World Health Organization that was traveling from Isaka in Shinyanga to South Sudan escaped death when the vehicle overturned on a hill at the Ramushenye roundabout in Bukoba Municipal.
I had to leave my motorbike and jump to save my life. I'm still in shock with minor pains. At the incident, we managed to take the driver out of the vehicle and rushed him to hospital. The vehicle was driven by a driver who was identified by one name as Dennis. The vehicle carried 30 tons of sorghum. When it reached the roundabout, it lost direction and fell. But before the vehicle fell, it knocked off 4 pupils and a tricycle. The driver of the vehicle is badly injured, but other casualties are still receiving treatment. All of them are in good condition except for the driver.
And for the first time since senior leaders of the Association for Islamic Mobilization and Propagation, WAMSHO, were arrested following terrorism allegations, the government of the Revolutionary Council of Zanzibar has issued a statement on the fate of the leaders. The statement was made by the first Vice President of Zanzibar, Othman Masoud, when addressing Muslims after Friday prayers at Mchangamo Mosque.
All the efforts that he initiated in ensuring justice is served will be my utmost priority. Before his departure, he had a dialogue with Honorable President regarding this matter. I assure you that results are going to be positive.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Dr. Hassan Abbas, has officially handed over the office of the government spokesperson and Director of Information Services to Gerson Msigwa, with the director pledging to ensure freedom of press.
Na naomba niwahakikishie nitakuwa na nyinyi sana pale ambapo kutakuwa na vitendo vya kuwanyanyasa, msifanye kazi zenu.
Let me assure you that I will be with you whenever you face any hardship in your line of duty. In these two incidents, Honorable Minister already gave out an order. We are working on it. We will ensure you get all the needed information from the government. I will sit with my fellow and create a strategy on how to go about, and we will share with our stakeholders.
Wote mtakubaliana na mimi, tumeshirikiana pamoja.
You will agree with me. We worked together. There was a time you gave me a hard time, but we have always gave out all the necessary news that were to be informed. I thank the late President for believing in me. I did my job. I also thank Her Excellency Samia Suluhu for believing in me once again.
The Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police, Wilbert Mutafungwa, has directed heads of the traffic police force in the country to ensure the arrest and take stern legal action, as well as revoke licenses of drivers who violate road safety laws.
Mmekuwa mkilalamika, mnasema watu askari wanatupiga tochi.
You have been complaining about these torches. I am directing these police to continue to oversee road safety regulations. Stern action will be taken to those who violate the laws. I order you to remove all the troubling lights in your vehicles that endanger the lives of others. The head of road safety, head of stations, anyone who violates should be arrested and legal actions will be taken.
Sasa niwarudie tena kuomba msiingie kabisa kwenye migogoro na jeshi la polisi. Tufuate nini? Tufuate taratibu.
Tanganyika Law Society TLS has elected Dr. Edward Jose as the new president after winning 293 votes against his closest opponent, Flaviana Charles, who received 223 votes out of 802 votes in the election that took place in Arusha, that was then followed by a general meeting.
Dr. Edward Hosea amepata kura 297.
Kama zilizo huru na TLS iliyo huru.
TLS's main function is to oversee the rule of law, independent courts, and independent TLC. That will be our continuation from now on, in collaboration with all the parliamentary authorities, government, and judiciary. We as TLS will advise the government and defend the people, and I, as the new president, will not back down and respect the hard work done by my fellow colleagues.
Sitarudi nyuma, ninaheshimu kazi kubwa iliyofanywa na wenzangu.
Baadhi ya mambo ambayo ningetamani kumuona rais aliyechaguliwa akiyafanya.
Among other things, I would wish to see some of the things, including fighting for the interests of TLS members, but also continue a good relation between us and the government, judiciary, and the parliament.
And that's all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, at least 21 people have died after their boat sank off Tunisia's coast as they tried to cross the Mediterranean to reach the Italian island of Lampedusa. The boat sank during a trip that started late on Thursday from Sfax, whereby 21 bodies have been recovered. Last month, 39 migrants died off the coast of Sfax, while in another similar incident in June last year, at least 60 were killed when a boat sank. 3 miners were killed and 4 others injured when a gold mine collapsed at Masambra village in Unguja, 350 kilometers from Nairobi in Kenya. The 3 miners died shortly after they were taken to the hospital, and the accident occurred during a heavy rainfall.
Idadi ya watu wote wenye walikufa kwa hivi sasa ni watu 3 na 2 wangali hospitalini. 2 mmoja alikuwa kwa hali mbaya, aliumia, na 2 walikimbizwa hospitali. Mmoja ikisemekana alikuwa ameumia, aliumia vibaya sana. Kuna mmoja amepelekwa x-ray na kuna mmoja tumesikia amekimbizwa district.
The committee representing Myanmar's dismissed parliament has announced the formation of a new unity government, which includes removed lawmakers, members of ethnic groups, and figures in the anti-coup protest, saying their aim was to root out military rule.
The announcement was made on Friday by Dr. Sasa, who has been designated by the dismissed parliament as representative to the United Nations. Myanmar acting Vice President Man Win Kaitang was appointed interim Prime Minister. Dr. Sasa himself has been designated as the Union Minister in International Cooperation.
That's where we leave off with international news. Well, business news follows after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now in business news. Mindeleo Bank, in collaboration with the Police Force Cybercrime Unit, will implement a strategy aimed at fighting online and money laundering offences in financial institutions and banks in the country.
Mafunzo haya yamelenga taasisi hizi.
This training has focused on these institutions for the ongoing trend in our country and the world because financial misconduct has been on the rise.
Yamekuwa yakiongezeka. Lazima kwanza tuwe na policy na sera zinazoweza kudhibiti.
We must have controllable policies. A bank like NMB operates under the Central Bank, BOT, and they provide guidelines that every bank must put in place a policy and a procedure controlling money laundering.
Na procedure katika kudhibiti labda money laundering.
Benki yote ile katika zama hizi.
In this era, it put much emphasis on money laundering in accordance with country's guidelines, and Central Bank has imposed these guidelines.
The Minister of Agriculture, Professor Adolf Mkenda, said Tanzania will attain an industrial economy if more efforts are taken to increase investment in the agricultural sector.
Hatutoweza kuleta mapinduzi ya viwanda. Hatutoweza kuondoa umaskini.
In this movement, we cannot bring about industrial revolution to eradicate poverty and to eliminate the huge gap between the haves and have-not. Those are the three realities. If we want an industrial revolution and services, we must revolutionize agriculture.
The government is in the process of preparing a new fishing policy and laws which will categorize Nile perch fish fillet in industries due to a reliable market for the commodity in Asian countries.
Kwa hiyo kwa jinsi sheria ilivyo sasa hivi,
as per the current law, a fisherman sells perch and its bales at the price of 4,500 to 8,000, while these bales alone cost the government a lot of money, while the price per 1 kilogram is 1 to 2 millions.
Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mabondo
Honorable Speaker, bales takes about 1.8 to 2% of the weight of fish, so to get 1 kilogram of the bale, you must have up to 5 fish.
And that is all for Business News. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Joaquinho, he did lose to Lent.
And now in sports. Tanzania Swimming Association has announced preparations for the National Junior Championship expected to take place this July in Dar es Salaam.
Done with the National Club Championship, which was done on 10th and 11th April. We are now in preparations for the Junior Club Championship. This is the same competition as clubs, but now the age group, because the National Club Championship starts with the age 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and above. So those younger than 9 years old, they never take part into the National Club Championship.
Simba SC goalkeeper Aishi Manula has made the top 5 list of goalkeepers to have conceded the fewest goals in the CAF Champions League so far this campaign. Here's more.
The Msimbazi Giants custodian led his team to the quarterfinals of the competition after conceding only 2 goals, and he now occupies the 2nd position in the chart of keepers to have conceded the fewest goals in the group stage. Simba conceded goals against African champions Al Ahly after losing 1-0 away in Cairo, and also let in their first goal in the campaign in the 4-1 win against AS Vita Club of the Democratic Republic of the Congo at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium. The list of goalkeepers with the most clean sheets so far this season include Musa Kamara of Horoya FC and Ahmed Reda Tagnoti of Wydad Casablanca, who each have 4, while Aishi Manula of Simba, Ali Abdullah Abu of Al Hilal, and Mohamed Al Shanawi of Al Ahly each have 3.
And Pep Guardiola has no concerns about his Manchester City side playing their FA Cup semi-final so shortly after their emotional Champions League victory over Borussia Dortmund.
City reached the European semi-finals for only the 2nd time in their history, and for the first time under Guardiola with their midweek victory in Germany. Just 3 days later, they faced Chelsea at Wembley as they aim to keep the historic quadruple bid on track. Sergio Aguero remains the only absentee, with the Argentinian striker yet to shake off a niggle that has kept him out of City's last 2 matches.
And Bayern Munich midfielder Joshua Kimmich has split with his agent and will now represent himself in future contract negotiations.
The 5-year-old has decided to end his relationship with the Fair Sport GmbH agency. The move is likely to increase speculation about the midfielder's future, with the 26-year-old keen to agree a new deal, but only on terms that he feels truly reflects his ability. The versatile midfielder added that he is convinced that he can best represent his own position towards others. Kimmich's current deal, signed in 2018, still has more than 2 years to run, though his plan is to agree a new contract that will see him join the club's top earners such as Robert Lewandowski, Manuel Neuer and Thomas Muller.
Tottenham boss Jose Mourinho says the race for the top 4 places in the Premier League will go down to the last minute of the season.
A clutch of clubs competing for place in the Europe next campaign, with just 8 points separating Leicester in 3rd from Everton in 8th. Mourinho's side travelled to Goodison Park on Friday, but win or lose, the Portuguese says nothing will be decided until the final day. Failure to make the top 4 could have far-reaching repercussions for Tottenham. As well as missing out on the huge financial rewards the Champions League brings, it could well push striker Harry Kane towards the exit.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Good night and have a nice weekend.
Nukuu ya Rais Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan.
2025 ipo karibu. Na kawaida yetu sio kama Watanzania au kote ulimwenguni, inapoingia kipindi cha pili cha rais aliyepo, watu kidogo mnakuwa mnalile na hili kuelekea mbele. Nataka kuambia acheni. Rekodi yako inakufata katika maisha yako. Kuna wengine wamekosa hizi nafasi kwa rekodi zao tu. Kwa hiyo rekodi yako inakufata kwenye maisha yako. Na mimi nitakuwa na jicho kubwa sana.
Nukuu ya Rais Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan.
This week on the decor,
essential oil is the base of every fragrance. Yeah. So it has the fewest chemicals. It's like in its raw form. So when you move from essential oil, the more you process it, ndio unakuja kwenye fragrance oil, unakuja kwenye diffuser oil. Yani essential oil iko the base of kila kitu.
Once something smells good, my friend, everything looks good.
This one is vanilla. Unaweza kuweka kwenye gari, it can be used as car air fragrance. Unaweza kuweka kwenye makabati, closet and drawers. Unaweza kuweka in the bathroom, na pia unaweza kuweka in your handbags and luggages. Hizo chenga unazosikia ndo za harufu, zinazotoa harufu. Wengine wanafanyaga kosa la kufungua hii envelope, but don't open it. The minute you open it, unafanya hii inakuwa haina kazi tena.
Join us on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on your favorite channel, Capital TV.
Naam, habari za wakati huu mtazamaji wa ITV, msikilizaji wa Radio 1, msikilizaji wa Capital Radio, lakini pia yule ambaye atufuatilia kupitia YouTube ITV Tanzania pamoja na Facebook ITV Tanzania. Karibu katika malumbano ya hoja, tupo mubashara tukilumbana kwa hoja. Na mada ambayo tumeweka mezani hii leo ili tupate kuilumbania ni mada ambayo nasema mfumo wa elimu kuzalisha wategemezi zaidi ya wataalam wenye kuanzisha ajira mpya. Nini suluhisho la kudumu kwenye mfumo huo? Ndio mada ambayo tumeweka mezani kwa siku hii leo, tuwalumbana kwa hoja. Mimi ni Maulid Kambambe na kuongozea malumbano ya hoja kwa siku hii leo, lakini pia kwa upande wa meza kuu tupo na Tony Kabeta, yeye ni mkurugenzi Universities Abroad. Karibu sana. Lakini pia Daktari Maulid wajina huyu, mhadhiri chuo kikuu Huria cha Tanzania, wajina, karibu sana. Asante sana. Lakini pia tupo na Fahami Mastawili, yeye ni mchambuzi. Karibu. Pia tupo na Michael Bante, mchambuzi wa masuala ya kisiasa na kijamii. Karibu sana. Kama ilivyoada, huwa tunaanza kuchokoza mada, na mada huwa tunaanza kuchokoza kwa meza kuu, lakini hii leo nataka tofauti kidogo, tuchokoze mada kwa wachangiaji wa hilo watatu, kisha tutakuja meza kuu kutazama nao wanaitazama vipi mada hii ambayo tumeweka mezani kwa siku hii ya leo, mfumo wa elimu kuzalisha wategemezi zaidi ya wataalam wenye kuanzisha ajira mpya. Nini suluhisho la kudumu kwenye mfumo huu? Nakumbuka wakati mimi nasoma shule ya msingi, kulikuwa kuna somo linaloitwa science scheme, na kwa lingine lilikuwa linaitwa science kilimo. Tulikuwa